Hi everyone, and welcome aboard the Carnival Conquest. Today we have a ship tour. What we're going to do is, like normal, we're going to start all the way up in the front and work our way and just kind of zigzag all the way down the ship. A few quick facts on the Carnival Conquest before we get going. The ship was 110,000 tons. It was built in 2002. It was the first of the 5 Conquest ships, which are Conquest, Glory, Valor, Liberty, and the Freedom. So we're going to start all the way up in the front and all the way at the top, like we normally do. So we're going to start all the way up on deck 14, which is the sky deck. This is where you can find the Serenity adults only area. The Serenity areas are 21 and up and adult only. The Serenity deck does span decks 14 and deck 12. There is no deck 13 on board the Carnival Conquest. Half of deck 12 is split between the Serenity area and the Kids Camp Carnival or Adventure Ocean areas. Also on deck 14, if you head towards the back of the ship, you are going to have the water slide also, which is it's far enough away. You don't hear any of the kids that are over at the water slide, so that's really nice that, you know, it's kind of divided up for the most part. And right next door to the outdoor area of Camp Ocean, you're going to find a door that leads you right inside, and this is the indoor area of Camp Ocean. This is pretty much where you drop off all the kids for the activities. We're going to drop down to deck 11. We have the spa deck. This is where you can find the gymnasium, as well as the spa on board the Carnival Conquest. Here we also have some of the steam rooms.
It's so steamy in here. Oh, it's so steamy. Oh, I can't breathe. It's too breezy in here. It's too much sweat.
We're going to make our way further back towards the famous whale tail. We're going to go over towards the mini golf course and the sports deck, and as well as the opposite side of the basketball court here. There is an open deck where really there is absolutely nothing there, but there are a couple stacks of chairs where you can just sit out and relax. And of course, like I mentioned, right below all of that we have the basketball and volleyball courts. And right outside the basketball court, we have the jogging track. You can go out for your morning runs or any sort of morning exercises or afternoon exercises, whichever you prefer. We're going to drop down to deck 10. Up in the front of deck 10, we have some more staterooms. We also have some of the secret decks that are up. This is where it starts. As we go further back on deck 10, we do have the steakhouse on board the Carnival Conquest. It is an upcharge, but it is very, very good food. So I highly recommend it. I always really enjoy going to the steakhouse on board Carnival and any other cruise line. I definitely think the food that you do have to pay for is also very worth having to pay for that food. Right underneath the steakhouse, we have the main buffet area on board the Conquest. You can pretty much any time of the day, whatever food you want, you can pretty much find it at that buffet. We're going to head towards the back a little bit more, and we're going to go towards the aft pool area. This pool is also open 24/7. We also have 2 hot tubs here, as well as we have a bar off to one side. We have some seating, so if you want to just sit out and eat back here, you want to take your food from the buffet outside, plenty of places to sit. Have the bar there. And on the other side of the bar, we do have an ice cream machine and also some coffee. So if you want to just kind of sit back, relax, have a quick bite to eat outside, definitely check that out. And what makes this area so nice is that there is a retractable roof. So if it is raining, that roof will, slide out and cover up the area. That way you can still enjoy the pool and anything out there that you want to try out. You can still take advantage of all that even when it is raining. Towards the front of this area, we do have, right next to the bar, we have the Pizza Pirate, which is the 24-hour pizza on board Carnival. And on the opposite side of that, we have the Seafood Shack, which is an upcharge, but I hear it is pretty great seafood. I'm not a seafood fan myself, so I couldn't tell you if it's good or not, but I have heard really good things about it. Alright, we're going to head straight through the buffet again, and so on this side over here, we have Guy's Burgers, which is the famous cheeseburgers and just famous burgers on board Carnival Cruise Line. It's part of a partnership with Guy Fieri. And on the opposite side, we do have Blue Iguana Cantina, where you can get any sorts of burritos or any sort of tacos or anything like that you would like. They also do have breakfast burritos, so those are pretty good. Each of these two places do have their own special toppings bars, so if you want to put any extra stuff on top of your food, you definitely have a lot of options when it comes to that. And right next to that, we do have the Blue Iguana Tequila Bar. And just right across from that, on the Guy's Burger side, we do have the Red Frog Rum Bar. We do have the main pool area on board the Conquest and all the Conquest class ships. This is the main pool areas. And as you can see, there are also 2 hot tubs featured right at the bottom of the tiered seating. So you do have a couple of hot tubs out there as well, which is always really nice. One thing I do really love about the Conquest class ships is it does have this tiered seating for the open decks or for the top deck. It's almost like a stadium type of seating. I really like it. You know, I don't think it would work on the new ships, but it's one of my favorite parts about the Conquest, and all the other ships kind of like that in that class. And it also gives you a very good look at the dine-in movie theater, which usually every night they do play a movie on the big screen out there. So now we're going to skip all the way down to deck 5. Everything in between deck 9 and deck 5 are staterooms. So we're going to skip down to deck 5. We're going to start all the way up in the front. We have the main theater and show lounge. This is where all the production shows are held every night. It does span from deck 5 all the way down to deck 3. Deck 5, you have a really good view all the way from the top. Or if you want to get up close, you can skip down to deck 3. We'll have a quick view of what it does look like down on deck 3. It's a very large theater. From my experience, I really haven't found a bad spot in any of the theaters like this on the Conquest class. Alright, and we're going to start making our way towards the back. We do have the fun shops where you can find all of your Carnival logo merchandise, featuring the ship models, any Christmas tree ornaments, as t-shirts or stuffed animals, anything you can really think of with Carnival's logo slapped on it, you can find it here. Sports bar right next door to the fun shops. If it's game day, you can likely find the game in here. So if there is a big football game or maybe a baseball game on, you definitely could probably find it in here. There's also a bar in here. It's where you can grab a few drinks if you like. The sports bar does connect towards the casino. And as we make our way further around the circle of the main atrium, we are going to see Cherry on Top, which is the candy store on board Carnival Conquest and all the Conquest class ships. And then on the other side, opposite of the fun shops, we do have some of the higher-end luxury items for sale, like watches, sunglasses, and things like that. And we're going to make our way towards the back of the ship now, down the main promenade area. So off to our side here, we do have the main casino. And on the other side, just right next to the casino, we do have a long row of couches that spans all the way down to the end of the walkway here, all the way down towards the Alchemy Bar. This is a great place that you kind of sit and relax and just enjoy. Maybe you just kind of kill some time if you want, or just kind of hang out. Definitely plenty of seating along this walkway here. It's definitely a spot of mine that I always enjoy, just kind of sitting and chilling out, maybe after a long day in port. And further on back, we do have one of the coffee shops on board. And right next to the coffee shop, we do have Club 02, which is the 15 to 17-year-old teen clubs. This was always a favorite of mine when I was younger, so there's a very large dance floor in here. There's some couches. This was a Halloween cruise, so it is kind of decorated towards Halloween themed. There also is a foosball table, just kind of some areas. There's all sorts of games and stuff you can play in here. And right next to that, we do have the video arcade as well. And on the other side of that, we do have the Alchemy Bar. Here at the Alchemy Bar, you can pretty much get any custom cocktail you want. If you don't see it on the menu, you can pretty much ask for it and they can make it for you. Or if you don't know what you want, they'll pretty much ask you like what you like and they'll make something random for you, and usually it's pretty good. So, and right behind that, we do have the piano bar. There's a few nights during the cruise where a piano player will come in and start playing while everybody sits around and kind of hangs out. And then behind that, all the way in the back on deck 5, we do have the Comedy Club. This is where all the Punchliner Comedy Club shows are held on board the Carnival Conquest and all the Conquest class ships. Alright, and just below that, we're going to drop down and we're going to go towards the aft dining room. So on the Carnival Conquest class ships, span decks 4 and 3. This is pretty much the main dining room on board the ship. This is where you would go to dinner pretty much every night of the cruise if you would like to, unless you're going to a specialty restaurant. This is one of 2 of those restaurants. The other one will be more Midship, and we'll get there in a minute. We're going to go through a little lounge here towards the back of the ship on board the Conquest. I know this lounge here, I believe, is where they do a lot of the karaoke some nights. On the other side of all of that, you have the Midship dining room. This is the second of 2 of the main dining restaurants on board the ship. And this one also does spans deck 3 and 4. And right at the entrance of that dining room, if you're on the Atrium side of it, we do have the Circle C, which is the 12 to 14-year-old kids clubs. And then moving forward a little bit more, we do have the Pixels Photo Gallery, which if you have any pictures taken while you're on board the cruise, this is where all the pictures will show up. And if you go all the way forward as far as you can, you also do have another entrance towards the main theater show lounge. Alright, and now down to deck 3. So this is where, like I said, this was a Halloween cruise, so everything was decorated for Halloween, which I really enjoyed. It looked really, really cool. This is the main atrium. This is where you can find all the glass elevators. You can find the Atrium Bar, the staircase. There's a lot of places to sit around here. On one side of the atrium, you can find the shore excursions desk, and on the opposite side, you do find the guest services line. And also on deck 3, you're going to have a little outdoor seating area on both sides. One side is smoking and the other side is non-smoking. This is just a little relaxation area. You can hang out underneath the lifeboats. It's a nice little private area. It's usually not too crowded out here. It's a very nice spot to kind of hang out and relax. So definitely try that out if you would like to. Anyways, that's about everything that's going to be on deck 3. So that's going to be all for the tour of the Carnival Conquest. I hope you enjoyed today's tour. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and click that subscribe button down below for any more ship tours coming soon, as well as some ship spotting videos and cruise vlogs coming very soon as well. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Carnival Conquest. Have you sailed on her yet, or are you sailing on her soon? Let me know down below in the comments, and I will see you guys for the next video of a day on board the Carnival Conquest.